I think that is another thing, is that I grew up in the countryside, and my brother, I told you, was away at school, I think, and a lot of the time, and it was just me in the field, and she.
No distractions. Yeah.
So if you're not gonna have imaginary friends and create imaginary worlds, you're basically going to be very bored. So that like you're describing, it's probably where I decided I would spend my adult life, living in imaginary worlds.
But also, what's so interesting
what my
about
shrink would say about that. But
no, but I think also, I mean, it seems that it's a very it's a multi-layered world, because like with you, it's not just about acting. Like you're also love your jazz and blues singing and your music, and you've written a book and you've written screenplays and you set up your own production company. And I mean, did you ever feel, particularly I feel like with English education, like you have to hone in on one thing. Did you ever feel like it was a pressure just to kind of own, just as I say, like being a polymath, being a life enthusiast? Like the two producers, which I've just like shown you, they were able, like they all saw all these things like just intermingling.
Do you mean you don't have to? It's all right to be to kind of own.
Yeah,
the fact
to own.
That you do lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone goes on about being a jack of all trades and a master of none. I mean, I really genuinely am a jack of all trades and a master of absolutely none. No, truly, and I'm proud of it, because I don't, I mean, it would be extraordinary to be, I don't know, Tom Stoppard or Laurence Olivier or Leonardo da Vinci, but I quite like being none of them and having a go at all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just maybe that's limiting, but I really love doing as much as I possibly
can. And they
can.
feed into each other and surely must inspire kind of whatever projects you go on to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing lots. I mean, I think life is very much about doing as much as one can. If you're lucky enough to be able to do lots of different things, I think that's what life's about.
I just have one practical question.
Okay, go.
From one enthusiast to the other.
Okay, go.
How do you juggle your time? How do you know when to prioritize what, or how do you know?
Yeah, that's very difficult, isn't it?
It's really difficult.
Do you do that well? I don't.
No,
I'm very bad at it.
So no, I was hoping to get some tips.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No. I'm no help there. It's very hard.
What do you think? Do you think that would be the hardest challenge doing what you're doing?
What would be the?
What would be the hardest challenge, like being a creative, but also being a creative who works alongside like lots of mediums and that kind of thing?
Well, I think it's all kind of the same thing. I think maybe the hardest challenge is to your point, is prioritizing and working out what the most important thing to do at any moment in time is. And I think that's I don't know. That's the really, and it's annoying because sometimes you get it wrong and you spend weeks or months or years on something. But actually, I was speaking to someone the other day, and even if that happens, it happens frequently to me. It's so doesn't feel like a waste of time.
No, I was gonna say, what makes it wrong? Like you always get something, and particularly if you are an enthusiast, you always pick up whatever, and you learn things, and then it's like, well, aren't timelines kind of arbitrary anyway?
Yeah.
Because it all will feed in. Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
I see myself, and people, when I ask people like what kind of wine they think, I think of myself as a white Chateauneuf de Pape.
Because
you can have up to 14 different grapes in there. And I'm kind of like, that's me.
Oh,
It's kind of like,
that.
and I kind of see you as a kind of equivalent. Like, and altogether that blend, you have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's what makes us unique.
Yes. Yeah.